The paper, ADMS and Street-Level Bureaucrats Practices, the Influence of Automated Decision-Making Systems in the Context of Street-Level Bureaucrats Practices, delves into the impact of automated decision-making systems, ADMs, on public administration. Authors Manuel Portela, Paula Rodriguez Müller, and Luca Tangi explore how ADMs have been transforming the roles, tasks, and duties of street-level bureaucrats in European public administrations. ADMs are defined as algorithm-based systems that provide some level of automation for specific tasks, usually done by humans, to increase the efficiency or accuracy of the decision-making process. The study focuses on the adoption and use of ADMs in European public administrations, aiming to understand how these systems have been transforming the roles of street-level bureaucrats. The paper's policy significance statement emphasizes the importance of studying the challenges and opportunities of ADMs in public administration, looking at how these systems are adopted by their users and implemented in real-case scenarios. The authors present a taxonomy that could be used to assess the transformation of the public sector with the introduction of ADMs and novel AI systems. Overall, this paper aims to provide insights into the impact of ADMs on street-level bureaucrats' practices, shedding light on the challenges and opportunities that these systems bring to public administration. This research paper delves into the adoption of algorithmic decision-making systems, ADMs, by street-level bureaucrats in the public sector, focusing on their perception of these systems and the learnings derived from their developing capacities in the context of digital transformation. The paper is structured into sections that cover the context and scope of the research, state-of-the-art in ADMs, objectives and contributions, methodologies used, findings, and conclusions. The context and scope of the research considers ADMs as a broad implementation of multiple decision points, datasets, and technologies used to automate a decision-making process in various contexts, including public administration. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, provides the first provision about the use of ADMs in Article 22. The state-of-the-art in ADMs in the public sector is discussed, highlighting the increasing presence of ADMs in public administration. Challenges related to human involvement in algorithmic systems are addressed, particularly concerning trust and efficacy during use and implementation. The paper also reviews the use of ADMs in different areas such as policing, risk assessment, and service personalization. The objectives and contributions of this research aim to understand the perception of ADMs by street-level bureaucrats and draw learnings from their developing capacities in the context of digital transformation. The methodologies used in the research study are explained, followed by a description of the findings. Finally, the paper offers conclusions and recommendations, emphasizing the importance of understanding the adoption of ADMs by street-level bureaucrats and its implications for the public sector in the context of digital transformation. The integration of AI and ADMs in public administration presents a double-edged sword. On one hand, these systems can enhance efficiency, transparency, and social equity. On the other hand, they pose risks such as harming vulnerable groups due to data practices and biases in algorithms. The implementation of ADMs varies among countries, requiring changes in organizational structures, digitalization expertise, and overcoming sector-specific obstacles. Challenges include safety concerns, financial feasibility, and integration with existing systems. ADMs should be viewed as socio-technologies that impact people, interpersonal interactions, and society. Their design, development, and implementation must not be separated from the situation of use. Article 22 of the GDPR prohibits fully automated decision-making, leaving space for partial automation. Human operators play a critical role in decision-making, especially in scenarios where decisions could limit individual rights or benefits. The relationship between the operator and the system is influenced by environmental conditions and human factors such as workload, personal beliefs, and motivations. Over-reliance on ADMs can lead to rubber stamping and losing control and oversight of the system's errors and potential damages. The perception of a system's reliability is closely tied to the experience of use and its context, as demonstrated in a study following a scandal involving the use of an unfair ADMs. However, a more transparent or explainable system does not necessarily become more trusted by humans. It needs to be more accessible. Accessibility refers to the availability of trusted information about the data, code, and models used to train the algorithm. Human operators with varying levels of expertise in the context of use, from long-experienced professionals to operators without expertise, may have different responses to an ADMS. Users can be successful or not in using an ADMS, depending on how the system provides relevant information and their expertise in understanding data and visual communication. Public administrations may fail to provide sufficient training and tools to decision-makers and civil servants, affecting their perception of the system and decreasing their trust in AI systems and their own confidence, with a high impact on public opinion. This research aims to address these challenges and study how capacities of civil servants and street-level bureaucrats could be increased to offer better services with the adoption of ADMS. It addresses two research questions. What skills and competencies do street-level bureaucrats and public servants need to perform their tasks while supported by the ADMS? What are the different types of technological, social, and organizational arrangements that facilitate or hinder the use, implementation, and operation of ADMS in public administrations? The main expected outcomes include mapping the different ways ADMS are used in context, building a narrative about how ADMS are perceived by their users, classifying types of approaches, weaknesses, and strengths in algorithmic systems, and identifying outcomes of using ADMS in public administrations to distill best practices. The research engages theoretically with infrastructuring studies, an interdisciplinary approach crossing the fields of information systems, science and technology studies, and computer-supported collaborative work. It uses the theoretical framework of infrastructuring to understand how processes of reality making actually take place. Following the authors, there are many approaches to frame and study infrastructures. This study makes use of a particular branch of participatory design, which is the study of artifact ecologies. This approach has been conceived as a theoretical framework to address the gap between culture, experience, and the practical role of artifacts in embodiment and mediation. This study explores the integration of artificial intelligence in public sector administration, focusing on the dynamics between administrative staff and their environment when implementing an AI-driven decision-making system, ADMS. It emphasizes the importance of understanding affordances and constraints in this context, as explored by Manuel et al., 2023. The research employs a qualitative approach, utilizing tools such as interviews, ethnographic observations, and document analysis to gather data from 3 European cases selected from the Public Sector Tech Watch database. The study's design involves 2 stages. Individual interviews with street-level bureaucrats using assistive tools like Likert scales and mind maps to assess their perception of the ADMS, followed by validation focus groups to discuss findings and expand results using participatory methods. The interviews aim to delve deeper into the use of ADMS and the environment in which these systems are inserted, while the focus groups serve to validate the findings and allow staff to exchange ideas and elaborate on their experiences. The analysis of the qualitative information gathered through these methods categorizes the data into 5 dimensions: capacities, organization, implementation, use, and confidence. This framework serves as the theoretical discussion in the overall research project, providing insights into how administrative staff interact with and perceive AI-driven decision-making systems in their work environment. This study explores decision support systems for gender-based violence cases, employing interviews, a focus group, and case studies to gather and analyze data. The focus group was structured into 4 sections: introduction, main findings presentation, a 2-stage questionnaire, and a discussion on recommendations. 2 decision support systems were examined: VOGen from Spain and the NAV algorithm from Norway. VOGen is a web-based system that facilitates information exchange between institutions handling gender-based violence cases. It has been implemented nationwide with over 6 million cases evaluated and more than 92,000 active cases by 2023. Benefits include promoting coordinated actions, providing a unified database, and offering an alarm system for tracking high-risk cases. Challenges include continuous changes in crime nature and varying user training levels. The NAV algorithm categorizes job seekers into different categories based on their need for assistance, aiming to optimize resource allocation and reduce waiting periods. Both systems face challenges related to data privacy and the need for ongoing training of users. Overall, These decision support systems aim to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of handling gender-based violence cases while protecting personal data and privacy. The proposed categorization of job seekers is based on age, education, self-reported health issues, and recent work history. By 2018, the algorithm's advice on situational category was followed by NAV supervisors in a third of the cases, increasing to half in 2019. By 2023, a national unit was established, handling standard users aged 3059 with sufficient digital skills. Challenges include improving the algorithm's robustness, incorporating new data while adhering to data protection regulations, enhancing the interface and tools, and automating tasks to improve efficiency. The Slim Check algorithm supports determining which applications should be investigated, using transparent and explainable data points. A pilot showed that the model treats different groups more equally than manual procedures, better estimates which applications are worthy of research, and prevents the unlawful provision of benefits more often. The thematic analysis and validation process reveals 5 crucial dimensions that shape the interactions between street-level bureaucrats and the automated decision-making systems, ADMS, capacities, organization, implementation, use, and confidence. These dimensions are essential for understanding how ADMS influences decision-making processes. 6 key roles emerge in the context of ADMS, each playing a distinct part in the decision-making process: project leader or product owner, team leader, researcher, decision-makers, system user, and end users. Notably, these roles are exchangeable and may overlap, highlighting the complexity of ADMS adoption. The findings underscore the significance of capacities, organizational structures, and confidence in fostering the adoption and effective use of ADMS. The interplay between these factors is critical, as it directly impacts the decision-making processes of street-level bureaucrats. By recognizing these dimensions and roles, policymakers and system designers can optimize ADMS to support informed decision-making, ultimately leading to more efficient and effective public services. The development, research, and implementation of information systems for public administration are significantly influenced by organizational structures. A recent study highlights 5 key dimensions of these structures: managerial, deployment, territorialization, system user interaction, and end-user interaction. An analysis of 3 case studies VO-Gen, NAV algorithm, and Slim Check reveals distinct characteristics within each dimension. In terms of managerial structure, all 3 cases employ a centralized approach, with VO-Gen and Slim Check managed by a national unit and a project office, respectively. However, the deployment of these systems varies, with VO-Gen being decentralized across different security bodies, NAV algorithm centralized in a digital unit, and Slim Check also centralized in a project office. Territorialization is another dimension where differences are observed. VO-Gen features decentralized local offices, NAV algorithm relies on remote working, and Slim Check is implemented locally. System user interaction also varies, with VO-Gen allowing different types of users with access restrictions, NAV algorithm accessed by a single type of user, and Slim Check not involving direct interaction between system users. Communication methods differ among the cases, with VO-Gen using centralized communication within the system, NAV algorithm employing digital tools for centralized communication, and Slim Check relying on informal mechanisms among bureaucrats. End-user interaction also varies significantly, with VO-Gen users not interacting directly with the system, NAV algorithm users interacting directly but not receiving system output, and Slim Check users not interacting with the system at all. A focus group discussion of these topologies revealed main debates and testimonies from participants, classified within each dimension. This analysis provides insights into the design and implementation of information systems for public administration, highlighting the importance of understanding organizational structures in achieving efficient solutions. The implementation and maintenance of algorithmic decision-making systems, ADMS, within bureaucratic organizations pose significant challenges. Despite being based on statistical methods, there is a difference between case-by-case approaches done manually by bureaucrats and the ADMS outcome. Bureaucrats should understand how these systems work to critically assess results, but they are not trained in statistics and it is not considered by managers as part of their expertise. This lack of understanding could reduce confidence towards the system. Interviewed participants have been working longer before the implementation of the system, and they already knew how decisions were made before automation. At the time of implementation, both systems were deployed with almost no training. The VO-Gen system included a manual and over time, they developed a training course. Similarly, the ADMS included a manual and a set of explanatory meetings with the involved staff. However, the NAV system still does not include any developed training program at national level. By organizational reasons, not all bureaucrats have the same skills and capacities. For example, in both nationwide cases, training was not distributed evenly in the territory. In the NAV case, only some territorial managers offer a brief training to new bureaucrats. While the VO-Gen training works as a cascade model, where the central administration trains provincial trainers that provide capacitation course to street-level bureaucrats. Factors like personal motivations and background influence the adoption of technologies in the working routine. Some were comfortable working from home to avoid friction in social interactions. Others claimed that they do not use their best skills anymore. Setting up an ADMS and AI systems requires dedicating specific resources. In both cases, the development, research, and improvement efforts of the systems are done in collaboration between the office in charge and third parties. This requires not only cooperation but the maintenance and continuous improvement of the system with a permanent allocation of specialized resources. In both cases, results in a centralization of decisions and establishing a team dedicated to the ADMs. However, updating and improving the system is slow and complex, taking several months or years to release major improvements. Thus, once a system is implemented and users are trained, it is unlikely big changes are made. The centralization of tasks into a unit that often takes to implement an ADMS does not imply that updating the system and gathering feedback from bureaucrats becomes easier. On the contrary, participant Gall argued, in the central unit, they are self-fragmented into different departments. So, some groups work with the algorithm on one thing, and another group is working on another algorithm based on something else, and they don't interact. This causes that information becomes siloed. In addition, centralization implies that a direct contact with territorial teams is lost. Thus, it was suggested to have also different structures where development is spread along the territory and offices. In administrative decision-making systems, striking a balance between large and small systems is crucial. Large systems can lead to administrative collapse, whereas small, scalable algorithmic systems are more desirable. Organizational hierarchies and roles significantly impact administrative staff perceptions, with street-level bureaucrats often lacking information about system capabilities due to higher hierarchies deeming it unimportant. However, bureaucrats are involved in improvement processes through research activities and feedback provision. Continuous monitoring is essential for decision-making that significantly impacts people's lives, such as VO-Gen risk evaluations and special needs assistance in the NAV case. During system development and implementation, improvements should focus on standardizing input data and systematizing output. This process can help normalize services across the country and connect different professionals and administrations. Despite these benefits, weak points must be considered. Biased inputs can occur if citizens are unable to answer correctly, leading to misled or biased answers. Although systems have been updated to reduce these errors, biases in the system can still alter final decisions. Human interaction is inherently biased, and the decision-making process may separate groups based on certain criteria. This can lead to citizens gaming the system for specific outcomes, as well as bureaucrats doing the same to help citizens. A trade-off exists between the information gathered and used to assist citizens, particularly when sensitive data like health information is not allowed under GDPR. Administrative Decision-Making System, ADMS, classification categories are only revealed to citizens if believed to be helpful, such as informing risk levels for violence victims. Each category is accompanied by specific resources, highlighting the need for careful consideration of information disclosure and system design. In the context of the ADMS, bureaucrats' perception and confidence in the system are influenced by their expectations about its outcomes. Despite some errors and misclassifications, their confidence is high, particularly among managers who were involved in the system's development. The system's design and implementation can differ from its actual use, highlighting the importance of in-the-wild testing and refinement. Bureaucrats' workload is affected by the system, but automation can reduce former manual tasks while creating new challenges in a transition phase. Collaboration among bureaucrats helps manage increased demand and systematize tasks. The ADMS has led to an increase in resources dedicated to protecting victims of gender violence, demonstrating its impact on addressing societal issues. Automated decision-making systems, ADMS, are increasingly being adopted in public sector organizations, necessitating an examination of the interplay between technological, social, and organizational arrangements. A qualitative study was conducted, involving interviews with street-level bureaucrats in 2 countries and contexts of use, to identify similarities and differences in their organization, technologies, social dynamics, and legal arrangements. The findings emphasize the need for comprehensive training programs for street-level bureaucrats, extending beyond software-oriented training to encompass the underlying causes, values, and reasoning of ADMs. This would equip bureaucrats with critical skills and a consistent narrative, fostering a positive attitude towards the system. Moreover, ADM's implementation presents an opportunity to enhance cooperation and communication between administrations, as well as standardize processes. However, the importance of face-to-face meetings with citizens, particularly in critical situations or for those lacking the skills to navigate their situation, was also highlighted. The study's limitations include the small number of cases, which restricts generalizability to other ADMs, and the limited time to explore certain factors identified during the interviews. The cancellation of the Slim Check project due to concerns about bias underscores the importance of addressing these issues in ADM's development and implementation. The study's findings suggest that a nuanced understanding of the interplay between technological, social, and organizational arrangements is crucial for successful ADM's adoption and implementation in public sector organizations. This paper presents a comprehensive model for understanding the impact of automation on public sector decision-making processes. It emphasizes the importance of human-AI interactions and the potential biases that can arise from these interactions. The authors stress the need for transparency and accountability in AI systems used in public sector decision-making, as well as the importance of understanding the limitations and assumptions underlying these systems. The paper also presents findings from interviews with public sector officials, revealing their perceptions of automation and its potential benefits and challenges. The authors note that while there is a positive view towards limited automation with a grade of autonomy for bureaucrats, there are concerns about the potential for bias and discrimination in AI systems. The paper concludes by discussing the implications of these findings for future research and policy development. It emphasizes the need for further exploration of the human-AI interaction in public sector decision-making, as well as the importance of addressing the ethical and legal challenges associated with the use of AI in this context. In terms of methodology, the paper employs a qualitative approach, relying on interviews and case studies to gather data. The authors also draw on existing literature in the field, including studies on human-AI interactions, algorithmic accountability, and the impact of automation on public sector decision-making. Overall, this paper provides a comprehensive overview of the complex issues surrounding the use of AI in public sector decision-making. It highlights the importance of transparency, accountability, and ethical considerations in the development and deployment of AI systems, and underscores the need for further research in this area. The paper presents a comprehensive analysis of decision procedures, focusing on the role of culture in trust and automation. It emphasizes the importance of reliability and workload in shaping human trust in automated systems, highlighting that these factors can significantly influence the adoption and acceptance of automated technologies. The concept of the turn to the wild is introduced, signifying a shift towards more naturalistic and spontaneous interactions between humans and technology. This shift underscores the need for designers to prioritize user experience and contextualize automation within complex, real-world environments. The paper also examines the impact of automation bias on decision support systems, emphasizing the need for accountability in interface design. Algorithmic risk assessments are shown to alter human decision-making processes, particularly in high-stakes government contexts. The authors highlight the importance of transparency in automated decision-making, with implications for research, policy, and practice. The importance of critical audiences in ensuring algorithmic accountability is stressed, as they play a crucial role in evaluating the effectiveness and fairness of automated systems. Studies on human factors in border control automation are also discussed, including the role of digital artifacts within personal lives and the placebo effect in AI systems. These findings contribute to a nuanced understanding of the interplay between humans and technology, highlighting the complexities of decision procedures and the importance of transparency and accountability in automated systems. By acknowledging the limitations of current approaches, the paper paves the way for future research into the development of more responsible and effective automation technologies. Human oversight in algorithmic decision-making systems is a multifaceted issue, particularly in public sector organizations. Understanding the design, implementation, and societal implications of these systems is crucial. Trust in automation is a nuanced concept, influenced by technical, social, and organizational factors, as demonstrated by Lee and C. 2004, and Müller et al. 1998. Risk assessment instruments, such as those explored by McCallum et al. 2017, play a significant role in shaping evaluators' opinions and recommendations, highlighting the need to consider both technical capabilities and human factors. Explaining AI decisions is a significant challenge, as noted by Müller, 2019. To build trust in AI systems, especially in high-stakes contexts like public sector decision-making, the adoption of more interpretable models is essential, as advocated by Rudin, 2019. Furthermore, the digital infrastructure supporting these systems has important implications for public governance, as discussed by Nuri, 2021, and Rannerup and Henriksen, 2022. Automated decision-making systems can perpetuate existing biases and inequalities, emphasizing the need for effective oversight mechanisms to mitigate these risks. A multidisciplinary approach is necessary to understand and address the challenges associated with human oversight in algorithmic decision-making systems. Future research should focus on the social and organizational factors that shape the design and implementation of these systems, as well as the development of more transparent and accountable AI models. By acknowledging the complexities of human oversight, we can work towards creating more trustworthy and equitable decision-making systems. This systematic literature review examines the role of automated decision-making in public administration, focusing on both the benefits and challenges associated with this technology. It emphasizes the need for transparency, accountability, and fairness in AI-driven decision-making processes, particularly in the context of public governance. The paper reviews various studies on how street-level bureaucrats perceive and trust AI recommendations, indicating that they tend to rely more on AI when it confirms their professional judgment. It also discusses the importance of administrative due process when using automated decision-making, ensuring that these processes adhere to the rule of law. The authors explore different methodologies for evaluating trust in AI-assisted decision-making, emphasizing the significance of empirical approaches. They advocate for ensuring meaningful human agency to prevent algorithmic bias and unfair outcomes, addressing the issue of liability in automated decision-making systems. The paper covers the transformational change and business process re-engineering (BPR) in the public sector, highlighting the potential of AI to enhance efficiency and effectiveness. It also addresses the challenges of implementing AI in public administration, such as the need for data quality, privacy, and security. Finally, the paper presents a roadmap for future research on the implications of AI in public governance, identifying key areas such as algorithmic fairness, transparency, and accountability.